Hello. Hello, hello. Quantum shifting, day 1. Who is here? Who is here? If you are here, give me a shout out. Tell me hello. Tell me hello. Hello. Morgan, Maria, Sarah, hello. Good morning, beautifuls. Good morning. I hope you all are having an amazing morning so far. We have not had a whole lot of advertising for this little program that I'm doing today because it has been crazy town in Aaliyah land. It's been crazy town in Aaliyah land. So if you're popping on and you're like, what is going on? What is she doing? About a month ago, my guides were telling me that it was time to quantum shift again. It was time to quantum shift, and it was time to quantum shift my money story. And I don't know how many of you have been following my journey, but I talk about this quite frequently, is that back in 2017, good morning. Back in 2017, at around the November time frame of 2017, my money story was in such a shit bag. My money story was in such a shit bag that I had finally decided I was completely and totally done with the money story being in a shit bag. I was completely and totally done with dealing with the issues that I was dealing with, and it was time to quantum shift. And so I took the tools that I knew. I took the tools that I had already learned, and I sort of applied them and created my own sort of, through a series of trial and error, created my own kind of quantum shifting experience. And it worked. It worked. I had, throughout 2018, my money story completely shifted, and it took a couple months. It took, I think I started in November, and I think I started really seeing massive results of this in March. So it took some time. I had a lot of processing to do. I had a lot of work to do. I had a lot of things to burn down. I had a lot of things to shift through. I had a lot of creation that needed to happen. And so it took several months, but I kept on and I kept on and I kept on. And next thing you know, my money story completely shifted. It completely changed. And it was amazing. Like, it was just amazing. And it landed me all the way through. Like, it was just rolling into August. And then in September, some other issues had come up. In my life, and I sort of started trailing on to an older mindset. And as the older mindset started to hang on, I started going a little bit backwards and a little bit backwards and a little bit backwards. I never fully went all the way backwards, but and you know, there's no mistakes, there's no errors. The things that I went through, I had to go through. Right? The things that I went through, I had to go through. I was still releasing toxicity in some of my relationships. That was a big part of it. I was learning how not to go backwards in my path. That was a big part of it. And so a lot came through that experience. And in my matchy in your signature color. I'm glad. I'm so glad. So, as the end of this year started rolling on, I realized that what I was going through was another, like my makeup doesn't look right though. I look like I'm in a dark space. I don't know if I need more light or what's going on here. Let's see if we flip this on, if that's a little bit better. A little bit better. I realized what was going on is that I was still quantum shifting. I was still working through a lot of the things and the issues that I needed to work through. And I allowed myself the processing, and I allowed myself the movement, and I allowed myself to move through. Do you see Bryant back there eating a salad? Say hi to the peoples. So I allowed all that stuff to sort of occur. And now I'm in this space where I'm like, you know, F this. F this. I'm completely and totally done with this. I'm completely and totally done with all the processing. I think I've done enough processing for a lifetime of a lifetime of a lifetime. And I'm ready just to sort of, the message has been from my spirit guides is that it's time to stop all the processing and start just moving forward and realize that the past is no longer part of my now experience, right? And so you found his goat. Okay, so I decided that it was time to start moving forward. And this message came through from my spirit guides that I think is really, really powerful. And I've been talking a lot about this here lately. But it came through that the past. So we're here for the experience, right? We're all here for the experience. We're here for the human experience. And each one of our experiences has value. Each one of our experiences has value in this human condition. But the past experience belongs to the circumstance, right? And the circumstance is just a moment in time. The moment belongs to the past. And when we start triggering in our now moments past experiences, we bring the once past experiences into our now moments. Does that make sense? So it's almost like once the past has been the past, like 5 minutes ago was the past, that is now actually a parallel reality. It is not a reality I'm seeing in my now moment. Does that make sense? So what happened yesterday, what happened 2 days ago, what happened a month ago, what happened in 1999, all of that belongs to a parallel reality. It's not part of my now reality. I'm in a completely and totally new reality. I'm in a completely and totally new now moment, right? And when I start allowing myself to get triggered into past moments and triggered, what happens is my precious beta mind begins to pick up on those triggers and starts to relive the past moment as if it is now a part of my reality, and old behaviors and old patterns of behavior become. Make sense? So we have a couple rules for this next 5-day event. This 5-day, I'm going to come on every day at noontime to give you to talk a little bit about what quantum shifting is and to give you a challenge each day. So if you are watching the replay, please hashtag replay, because I want to make sure, I want to see who's watching, I want to see who's participating, I want to see who's part of this, right? So if you are watching the replay, please hashtag replay. Make sure you are signed up for the link that I posted last night, so that you are getting this content delivered to you in your emails. Because for those of you that have signed up for the challenge and are doing the challenge and are coming onto the lives or hashtag replay, like if you can't be here live because you're at work, I get it. But if you are replaying the event, you want to make sure you hashtag replay, because all of that is going to be a part of how I'm going to select winners for some of the free stuff I have going on. Some of the free stuff I have going on, which is in relation to like some one-on-one coaching pieces. I'm going to be giving away little spots to one-on-one coaching, and I may even have some other witchy tricks up my sleeve. I don't know. We'll see. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I want to sort of give and play with. So depending on the amount of people that participate, who is showing up on the lives, who is signed up under the program, and who is actually talking about it in the group, those people will be selected for some fun and very valued prizes, right? And maybe even some kind of witchy things. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I have some tricks up my sleeve. So make sure that you sign up. Okay. So today what I want to talk about is I want to talk about some of the rules. Like, I want to just talk about some of the rules. And you're like, Aaliyah, fuck the rules, right? But seriously, like, in order to really understand what we're doing here, these little things are going to be really, really important, okay? And the number one rule is this. The number one rule is I'm going to ask you to have faith in what you believe in. What's a rule? I'm going to ask you to have faith in what you believe in, right? Because we hear this all the time. We hear this all the time. We hear, you got to have belief. I don't believe in those. So have faith that you don't believe in those rules. But do have faith in what you say you believe in. And we hear this all the time. You got to believe, 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 you got to believe. And it's not so much believing. I think most of us believe. I think most of us here in this group, because we've had some kind of experience that sort of led us spiritually, right? We have some kind of aha moment that has happened in our life. So I think most of us here have a belief in a divine principle or some great energy that belongs to us or is a part of us or is outside of us or whatever, however that you see it. I think all of us agree that we believe in something bigger. We believe in energy. We believe in the divinity, right? But do you have faith in it? Like, do you have faith in it? And that is the question that you really need to ask yourself. Is not do I believe? Yeah, you believe. You wouldn't be here if you didn't be here in this group doing this thing. If you didn't believe, but do you have faith in it? And that's what I want you to really, I'm so over that 10% doesn't believe. That shit's tripping me up too much. We all believe. We all believe. We just have to align our faith in our belief. And I'm going to tell you something. Like, I am like the most hard-headed Aquarian I think I've ever met, right? I am the most hard-headed Aquarian I've ever met because I literally have to remind myself often to have faith in what I believe in. Okay, this is driving me crazy. Like, I keep looking at it. It's really weird when you really look at yourself. It looked like I'm like dark. I have to remind myself consistently to have faith in what I believe in. I have to, and I mean, I'm like, okay, so I see apparitions, I hear communication, I'm a fourth generation medium, I'm a spirit guide channel, like I see all this stuff, I experience all this stuff, I have aha moments that sort of blow my own mind, right? I have things that have happened that blow my own mind, and yet still, sometimes I have to sit down, I have to grab my journal, and I have to start reminding myself in my journal to have faith in what I believe in. And it's not just about having belief, it's about having the faith to back up that belief. So if you have to journal it out each day, if you have to go outside and talk and be like, okay, where am I not showing faith? Where am I not recognizing faith? Where am I not realizing faith, right? I know you're there. I know you, I feel you. I've seen you. I've experienced you. But where am I not having faith in what I say I believe in? Okay? That's the number one rule. Should I call them rules or should I call them, I should call them something else because I hate rules. I don't want anybody to be under rules. I should call them PowerPoints. I'm going to call them PowerPoints. All right, so we're going to have several PowerPoints to this. Number 2 PowerPoint is dream big. Dream big. guidelines. I'm calling them PowerPoints because they are PowerPoints. Dream big. Dream big or go home, right? And this came to me yesterday as I was actually doing another live stream, is that it doesn't matter if you're manifesting a potato chip or manifesting $1 million. The energy behind manifesting a potato chip is the same thing as the energy behind manifesting $1 million, right? So the energy is the same. The energy is the same. It's manifestation, right? It's manifestation. And one of the things that I used to trick myself on or trip myself up on is that I told myself that I could manifest anything in the world that I wanted, but actual money. I could manifest anything. I could shift anything. I could transcend anything, right? I could transcend anything but money, right? So in this, while you're going through this and while you're learning this, I want you to dream big. To the divine, there's no such thing as big or small. To the divine, there's no such thing as good or bad. Everything is as it is, as it is, as it is. Okay? So if you're going to do this, I want you to dream the big dream. I want you to get into the big dream. I want you to see the big goals. I want you to see yourself realizing and exercising the real goals, the big goals, right? Dream big. Dream big. Dream big or go home. You know, and as I'm saying that, I want to set the next PowerPoint, which is set no limits. Set no limits. And so Morgan, you know, you're like $200,000 big. But if you set that limit of $200,000, you might stop yourself from actually making $1 million, you know, or a gazillion or a bazillion, whatever, right? Let's set no limits. So the next PowerPoint is set no limits, because when we start putting limitations on things, and we start putting things in nice little boxes, right? We put things in nice little boxes. What ends up happening is we end up moving into the psycho-ego left part of the brain, where we're analyzing what we're trying to manifest. We're analyzing what we're trying to manifest, right? So we are setting limitations. We are setting limitations. Where the creative mind, if we were like, okay, you know what? I want to see myself in this kind of element. I want to see myself in wealth. I want to see myself going big. I want to see myself expansive. I want to see myself dreaming or living my best life, my most incredible life. If you start setting limitations to it, then you're going to set limitations to get yourself there. Does that make sense? So set no limits. Number 3 PowerPoint. So the number 1 PowerPoint was have faith in what you believe in. The number 2 PowerPoint was dream big. The number 3 PowerPoint was set no limits. And the number 4 PowerPoint is decide that there are no other options. Now, this one is a big one for me. Yep. 1, have faith. 2, dream big. 3, set no limits. And then 4, decide there is no other option. This one is a big one for me. This one is a big one for me, right? Because I was sort of in that place where I was like, okay, you know, divine will, my will and divine will. I'm like manifesting this. I'm creating this for my life. And the universe is bringing me this, which feels a little less par than, but it's still good and I'm still happy, right? So what I'm doing is I'm allowing other options. I'm allowing other options. So decide that there are no other options. You can decide that there are no other options, right? Have you ever worked for somebody and they said, you need to do this, this, and this, and I don't care how you do it, but it gets done, right? I used to have a boss that used to tell me that all the time. I need this, 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 and this, and this, and this, and this, and this done. I don't care how you do it. but get it done. Right? And so right now, I want you to be in that place where you decide that you are ready for this, and this, and this, and this. And you don't care how it gets done. Let the universe work its magic. But this is the only option. This is going to get done. Right? Is everybody good with those PowerPoints? I like that, PowerPoints. Is everybody good with those PowerPoints? Are we feeling the PowerPoints? Yes. Okay. So the other thing that I want to say to you is this, is that these practices are the best done first thing in the morning, right? I released a few options recently. Good. So these kind of exercises that we're doing are best done first thing in the morning. Best done first thing in the morning. And the reason why they're best done first thing in the morning is because as we begin to wake up, there's still melatonin running through our bodies, right? We're still kind of in that creative mindset. When you go to sleep at night, you astral travel. Everybody does. Everybody does. Everybody does. I don't care if you remember your dreams or you don't remember your dreams. Every single one of you astral travel. Every single one of you, when you go to sleep at night, you astral travel, you're going into other dimensional spaces. And when you wake up, when you first wake up, you go through something that's called the hypnagogic state, which is being in that place of, I kind of call it the place of being in the divine space and being in the waking space at the same time. You also recognize it right before you go to sleep. And so as you're falling asleep, you may notice that you have like dreams while you're still awake. That's called the hypnagogic state. It doesn't last very long. But when you're waking up and you're just getting juicy and waking up, like you're stepping into the hypnagogic state first thing in the morning. So if you open your eyes and the first thing you do is grab your damn phone or start thinking about your problems or issues for the day, you have set the intention for that for the entire day. Right? So when you wake up, when you first wake up, if you're in this space where you're like, phone is in the... Look, I just say this. Let's add another 5 PowerPoint. Put the damn phone in another room. Put the damn phone in another room. Right? Because I think for most of us, especially if you're working in social media, especially if you're working in this field... the first thing that you tend to do is reach for the phone. You reach for the phone, right? Because we all want to see what happened overnight. We want to see, what happened overnight. Put the phone in another room. Wake up in the morning and start doing your mindset work first thing in the morning, because it's going to be a place of reset. When the alarm goes off, I'm all 5 more minutes. That's okay. That's okay. If you allow yourself 5 more minutes, that's okay. But when you start waking up, I want you to be in that creative space and not necessarily in that, oh my God, I got to get this done today space. That turns into 1 to 2 hours. Okay. So what is the quantum? What is the quantum? What are parallel realities? What is these dimensional spaces that you speak of, Aaliyah, right? What are all these quantum fields and stuff that you speak of? The quantum is a place of, okay, I'm going to say this and you're going to be like, what? The quantum field is a space of nothingness. It's a space of abstraction from the physical world. It's a place of creation. It's a place of creation, okay? And to actually enter into the parallel dimensions and actually enter into these dimensional spaces, you are not actually leaving your body and going somewhere else, right? You're not leaving your body and going, you're not exiting outside your body and going somewhere else. It's a shift in your perception. It's a shift in your perception. When you dream, you astral travel. And astral travel means that your perception of where you are shifts. There's dimensional spaces, the parallel realities, they all are within. And we can access them all from within space. We sometimes use exercises to see ourselves exiting out. But what we're doing is we're telling our physical self that we are wanting to go somewhere else, right? So it's sort of like an intention to go somewhere else. You can shift all these dimensional spaces from the within place. You can shift all these dimensional spaces from the within place. How many of you have heard of Abraham Hicks? Yes, no? Yes, no? Terry, hello. Yvonne, hello. Nice to see you. How many of you have heard of Abraham Hicks? Yes, no? Maybe so. Yes, no? Maybe so. Yeah. It surprises me. That there's still people who have not caught on to the Abraham Hicks phenomenon, right? Dana's like, no, it really does. It's part of the whole LOA and manifestation and all of that. So it really but it's intriguing, and that's why I like to take it back to like the beginning, because there is a lot of people who do not know who they are or know what Abraham Hicks is. So I'm going to sort of describe what Abraham Hicks is, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about some terminologies that they use that is going to explain what I'm going to have you all doing, okay? Or explain what we're going to be doing. So Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks is a channel. And Esther channels in a collective conscious called Abraham. They're spirit guides. Let's just say that. You can call them, people call them all different kinds of things. And Abraham themselves won't call them anything. They won't designate anything. They call themselves the collective conscious, which is spirit guides, by the way. So she channels in the collective conscious called Abraham. And Abraham speaks through Esther and speaks to us about law of attraction, about calling things in, about manifesting our desires, about helping us to reconnect with, it's not about the things that we're trying to manifest. It's really about you wanting total happiness and joy, and living in happiness and joy, and understanding that when you are totally complete in happiness and joy, that all the things become attracted to you. And so there's a terminology that they use. They say that when we start dreaming about things, we send off what's called rockets of desire, right? And these rockets of desire actually go into our vortex. And the vortex is, this power tunnel that is within all of us. And when we align with the things in our vortex, the things in our vortex show up. So I love that terminology. And if you know that terminology, then I'm going to sort of explain it from a quantum shift point of view. Okay? Everything that you think about yourself, whether positive or negative, creates what's called a probable reality. Okay? AKA rockets of desire. Everything that you've ever thought of for yourself, either good or bad, or either positive or negative, either really high vibe or really low vibe, gets created in what's called a probable reality. So, when some of us are sitting here, and we're worrying, and we're crying, and we're thinking about the demise that is amongst us, and what's going to happen next, and yada, 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 you may not actually be living that reality, but you are creating a whole a probable reality that's sitting in the parallels. And if you keep aligning to that thought, you're going to actually step into it. Make sense? I think, and the reason why I'm bringing up the low vibe kind of, oh no, what's going to happen, is because I think as human beings, we sort of get it easier if we talk it from that way. Yeah. If I keep thinking about how bad my life is, or what's going to happen next, or how horrible and terrible this is going to be, and I keep that vibration going, and I keep that focus going, yeah, then I'm probably going to create my reality, right? Well, the same is said for your realities that are in positive high vibe, right? So if I decided, okay, I'm in this place right here, right now. If I decided in this place right now that I want to see myself in the most amazing space, no matter what is going on in the current moment, if I want to see myself in the most amazing space, and I start really focusing on that, and I start getting really dreamy about where I'm going, then I'm also sending out rockets of desire that is creating a probable reality in the parallel realities, right? So the more that I align and shift to that thought, I'm going to create that for myself. So rockets of desire can actually be in two different directions. It can be in the low vibe frequency, it can be in the dreaming big frequency, or it can be in the mediocre. And I guess there's three. There's all kinds of avenues that you can take. Everything that you fantasize about and dream about gets sent out as a probable reality. Now, if you think about how much you think, that's going to tell you that you probably have millions of probable realities sitting out into the ether, waiting for you to align to them, waiting for you to bring them in. Yes? I mean, goodness gracious, in a day, we can go from being in a low frequency to a high frequency, right? To a mediocre, back to a high, back to a low, right? So if you think about it, all the thoughts that we're creating, all the fantasies that we're creating, they're creating millions of possible, probable realities. Like, if you really think about it, it will crush your brain. It will crush your brain, because we're constantly thinking. We're constantly creating scenarios. We're constantly telling ourselves that we are headed for something, right? Or that we're moving into something, right? Okay. So I want to come back to PowerPoint number 6. The now moment is the only one that counts. The now moment is the only moment that counts. Right? So the past is now in a parallel reality. If I align and shift to the past, I'm going to bring some past shit up. The future is wildly unseen. And if I'm creating probable realities in the future, and I'm aligning to that, then I might miss out on this massive thing going on over here, right? So the only moment that counts is right now. The only moment that counts is right now, right? So the only moment that counts is right now. We want to be creating from the now space. We want to be seeing ourselves in the now moments. We want to be in our now moments, right? I really, really suggest, and I don't have my little yellow sticky pads with me, I really, really suggest that you get some yellow sticky notes, right? Or pink or blue or green, because they come in all different colors now. I really suggest that you go old school, get some sticky notes, grab a pen, and write on the sticky note in big letters, now. And post them everywhere, on your front door, on your back door, on your side doors, on your refrigerator, on your bathroom mirror, on your dresser mirror, on your dresser, on your desk, on your laptop, on your phone. Like, post them everywhere so that when you see it, you are reminded to stay in the now moment, right? To stay in the now moment. You are creating from the now moment, always. This moment is the only moment that counts. This moment determines the next moment. Good. Get them all over your house, Amy. Post them everywhere. Post them everywhere you go to that you're going to see. That'll remind you now. Stay in my now moment. Right? I used to be an office supply junkie. It was bad. It was really super bad. And like if I go now, it'd be really bad. I spend a lot of money in office supplies. I like them too, Amy. I also like bookstores. I like to buy a lot of books. Okay. So everybody get what I'm putting down. We got 6 PowerPoints going on right now. Got 6 PowerPoints going on. Okay? Now a moment is the only one that counts. I get a lot of pushback on that from family. I'm all, none of that shit matters today. Exactly. Okay. So, me too, books are shiny. Okay, so understanding that we can access all of the dimensions from a divine place within us and being in our now moment, what I want to invite you all to today is to actually, is to actually be in your moment. To be in the moment, right? So what I like to do is I like to just sit in quietude by myself, eyes open, looking around, appreciating what I have. Looking around, appreciating what I have. Not just being grateful. Oh yeah, I'm grateful I have a window. Yeah, I'm grateful there's a coffee pot right there. I'm grateful for dirty dishes because that means I ate today. Not just like express gratitude that sort of means nothing. I mean, really in a space where I'm just sitting, I'm breathing. My breath is amazing, right? How many of you actually had said, hey, thank you, breath? How many of you have thanked your breath? I mean, really think about it. How many of you have stopped to go, oh my God, breath, I appreciate you. Breath, thank you. Breath, thank you for keeping me alive and moving through my body. How many of you have actually ever stopped to appreciate and thank the breath? And so in this moment of just being and looking around, I like to really focus and concentrate on my breath. And just be like, it feels so amazing to breathe. It feels so good to breathe. It feels so good in my body to breathe, right? I love my breath. I'm so thankful for my breath, right? Yeah, and my heart for never resting, and the stomach for always moving. I love my breath. Thank you, breath, right? And so I get into that place where I start really looking at the things that I never stopped to appreciate, and I start appreciating them. And you can have some music going on in the background if you want to, but I would not invite anybody else into this space. I wouldn't invite anybody else into this space. This is your space, right? So you get into this place where you're feeling appreciation, where you're recognizing appreciation. It's not just feeling, but like being like, oh my God, like I never thought to think that there's this window right there that is really beautiful to look at, and I'm so thankful that there's this window that I can look out of, right? I think sometimes we think, oh wow, cool window, right? I can look out that window, but have you really thought to think there was a guy that actually created that window so that you could have this view? Like, how amazing is that? I never thought to appreciate that, right? So this does take a little bit of a moment to sort of look around and to look at what you have and begin to appreciate it. To think about your body and what it's doing for you and appreciate it and be thankful for it, right? So when I get into that little space and I'm feeling kind of good and I'm feeling really appreciative, sometimes that will even bring me to a little bit of a tear or a smile, right? I know there's some emotion coming along with this. When I know that emotion has happened, I'm in a good space to close my eyes. I'm in a good space to close my eyes. And right now I invite everybody who's watching to close their eyes. Just be in this space where you are completely looking at the back of your eyelids. And I hear so many times when people are learning to meditate, they're like, oh my God, all I see is blackness. All I see is the darkness behind my eyelids. This darkness behind your eyelids, this is the place of creation. This is your dimensional spaces. This is your ether. This is where you create. This is where you start to design. This is where you start to make things happen, right? So you're taking the now moment of appreciation into the ether with you as you close your eyes. And today or tomorrow morning, I just want you to be in this space where you're just totally appreciating the darkness behind the eyelids. And you're breathing. And you're feeling that appreciation move through your body. And you're sending out a parallel reality or probable reality of appreciation. Being appreciative for your now moment. Being aligned in your now moment. Being in joy in your now moment. Right? And as pictures or thoughts start coming in your mind, I just want you, as a picture comes up or a thought comes up, I just want you just to let the thought or the picture come up and go. I don't want you to talk to it. I don't want you to say anything to it. Just let it go. And if in this moment of looking at the back of your eyelids and realizing that you're in the ether and realize that you're in a place of creation and you're letting your thoughts and the images go, if there's a place where you start to get kind of like, I'm bored, I want you to open your eyes. And I want you to look around. And I want you to ask that amazing brain of yours, what's different in this moment? What's different in this moment? Begin to appreciate what's different in this moment. As you begin to look around in your now moments, things might shift for you. You know, maybe the air feels lighter. Maybe the colors pop more. Maybe there's a new scent in the room. Or maybe things just sort of look more clear. So keep your eyes open. Get into that space where you go, what's different? And then close your eyes again. Staring back at the back of your eyelids. The ether. Feeling appreciation for the now moment. Loving the now moment. Loving the now moment. And stay in there until you feel ready just to open your eyes. Don't time limit this. Do not time limit this. For some of you, being back behind the eyelids might be a minute and a half. For somebody else, it might be 45 minutes. Okay? Don't give it a time limit. Allow yourself to know when it's time to open your eyes. I would love for you to open your eyes in the middle of it so that you can look to see what's different. But then close your eyes again and get into that space of appreciation and feeling in the now moment. Get into that space of appreciation and feeling in the now moment. And when you're done, you're going to take your pen and you're going to take a piece of paper and you are going to write on that piece of paper who you are in a big expansive way in your now moment. Does that make sense? When you are done, pen to paper, who you are now as big, dreamy, and as expansive as you need to be in this now moment. Not tomorrow, not 5 years from now, not after the kids go to school, not after Joey moves out, not after, after I decide to quit my job. None of that. Who are you in a big, expansive way in the now moment? Questions? So, like, if your big dream, your big goal is to see yourself as a movie star, then you're going to write your biography as a movie star. I am a movie star. I am a movie star. I have stars in my eyes and, glitter for a halo. I am in movies and I'm being called into all kinds of different, yes, who am I in a big, expansive way in the now moment? And that, when you're done with that journaling, I want you to share it with all of us. I want you to share it in the mystical arena in your own post. I want you to share it in the mystical arena as your own post. Okay? And you can put at the top, if you will, put at the top, #Quantum Shift Day 1. #Quantum Shift Day 1. So that I can find them. So that I can find them all. #Quantum Shift Day 1. Catch the replay, my darling. Okay, any questions? Any questions at all? This is good stuff, yes? Good stuff. Recognizing who you are in this now moment. Thank you, Amy. #Quantum Shift Day 1. Yep. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay. Hi, Amanda. Okay. If you are just catching on live, we are getting ready to end today's live stream. Please make sure you watch the replay. #replay. #replay, right? And love you, Crystal. #replay. And I want to see your post. Make sure that you've signed up for the email so that you can get this stuff in your email. Okay? Love you all. Have an amazing day. And I will see you tomorrow for day 2. Bye.